Hello everyone, welcome to this short presentation on the average or mean. It's one of the central tendency that we are looking at. First, we are going to look at the formulas to calculate the mean or the average, and we are looking at the formulas depending on different situations here. The mean or the average is the sum of values divided by the total number of values. So that is the definition of average. So if you're calculating the average, all you have to do is add all the values or all the observation values or data values that is given to you and divide by how many number of observations are there. First, how do we calculate the sample mean? So if we are calculating the mean of the sample, for the ungrouped data, it is denoted by x bar is equal to sum of all observation, that is sigma x, divided by n, the total number of observation. And if it is a sample mean for group data, same symbol, x bar for mean, is equal to sum of f times x, where f is the frequency, divided by sum of f. So that is for the sample mean. For sample population, what we do is we denote the mean using the Greek letter mu. For both ungrouped and grouped data, it is denoted by the Greek letter mu. And then for the ungrouped data, the formula is same as the previous formula for ungrouped data, sigma x, that is sum of all observation, divided by uppercase N for the total number of observations in the population mean. On the other hand, for the group data, the mean mu is equal to sum of f times m, that is sum of the frequency multiplied to the midpoint of the class divided by sum of all frequencies. And the last type of calculation of mean that we are exploring in this video is called the weighted mean. Weighted mean is denoted by w equal to the sum of x times w, that is x is the observation and w is the weight for individual observation, divided by sum of all weights. Okay, so these are the formulas for the calculation of mean. Now in next slide, we are going to look at the example. Okay, example. Ages of 7 students in years in a chess club is given below. Find the mean or average age of the students, and here are the ages given: 18, 19, 17, 18, 16, 20, and 18. So you can see that this data does not have frequency, so this is ungrouped data. So we want to find the mean of the ungrouped data. So what we know, first we are going to write our formula. We know that the mean is the sum of x divided by n. So meaning of that is you are adding all the given values. So it is 18 plus 19 plus 17 plus 18 plus 16 plus 20 plus 18, and we have to divide all that by, this is for 7 students. Okay, this is the ages of 7 students, so we divide by 7, or you can even count here how many are there: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what we get is mean is equal to, if we add all these, okay, you can add these using calculator, it will be 126 and then divide that by 7, which is equal to 18 years. So the mean age of the students in the chess club is 18 years. You can also verify this result using calculator. You must know how to do this in your TI-84 calculator. So what we do is, in TI-84 calculator, we go to stat, and then you can see here under edit menu, we have number 1, select that, enter, and in list 1 you enter the data. So 18, 19, 17, 18, 16, 20, and 18. Enter those data here. Once you enter the data, okay, once your data is in, it's stored in your calculator, then you go to Stat. Now, this time you go to Calculate. Go to Calculate and hit the number 1 or select number 1. So just enter, which is one variable stat. Your data is in list 1, which is good. If it is something else, this must be list 1. And then you go all the way down here and then press calculate or hit enter. Then you'll see the mean is 18, which we obtain here. The sum of all observation is 126. That's what we got. And your n, the number of observation, is 7. So we can use our TI-84 calculator to actually calculate the mean of the on-group data or individual data set. So this is the first example. Let's look at the second example now. Second example now. The gas mileage in miles per gallon for 30 small cars are listed below. Find the mean gas mileage. So they have given the gas mileage 31, 36, 41, 46, and then they have given the frequency 11, 12, 2, and 5. So you can see that this is the data with frequency. Okay, so if you want to find the mean for the data given like this, your formula, we know this formula to calculate the mean for this type of data. The individual data value with the frequency is mean is equal to sum of f times x divided by sum of f. So the values, gas mileage is your x, and the number of cars for each gas mileage is your frequency. So 11, 12, 2, and 5, they are frequency. So I need f times x. So what we are going to do is we are going to make a table for this data. Okay, here in the table you have x here, f here. Now you have to find f times x, that is we have to multiply these two and write them down here. You can actually multiply them manually or using your calculator and fill the table over here. Okay, 11 times 31 is 341, 12 times 36 is 432, 2 times 41 is 82, then 5 times 46 is 230. Now if you look at the formula, we need sum of f times x. Sum of f times x means we need to add all these values in the third column. So if we add 341, 432, 82, and 230, it is 1085, and we have to divide that by sum of all frequencies. So 11 plus 12 plus 2 plus 5, that is 30. So that is our total. Then we can use the formula over here. So your mean is equal to sum of f times x we obtain here, which is 1085, and then we have to divide by the total number of observations, which is 30. So if we divide that using calculator, it is equal to 36.1667. That is the average of this given data set. Your unit is in miles per gallon, so you can write miles per gallon. That is the unit. So that is the average mileage. So we calculated the mean of this given data set manually. You can also calculate this using your TI-84 calculator. Let's see how we can do that in our TI-84 calculator. So first you have to go to Stat, then Edit, which is number 1, hit enter. In list 1 here, you have to enter the mileage, which is 31, 36, 41, and 46. In list 2, we enter the frequency, which is 11, 12, 2, and 5. Once we are done entering the data here, You again go to stat and then calculate. Okay, move over to calculate, and you can see here one variable stat is selected, so we hit enter. Then we have to write the list for the mileage, which is in L1. That is good. Now frequency is in which list? We have to write that down. It's in list 2. Okay, in our in the data that we have entered, it's in list 2, so L2 is selected. Then go down here and hit calculate. Then we can see that our mean is 36.1667, which is exactly same as what we have calculated. So we can also find the mean of the data given like this using TI-84 calculator. That is the second example. Now we are going to look at the third example, and this is going to be the group data with the classes given. Okay, here is the third example. The number of beds in a sample of 20 hospitals is shown below. We have to find the average number of beds. Okay, so this is the group data, and if you remember the formula from the first slide for the calculation of mean of the group data, like this, mean is equal to the sum of F times M divided by sum of all F. Now I'm going to make a table for F, M, and F times M. Okay, first I need the midpoint of each class here. The first class is 127 up to 161. So the midpoint of this class is 121 plus 161. So first we add those two values, 127 and 161. So if you add those two values, it will be 288, and when you divide that by 2, that will be 144. So that is the midpoint of first class, 144. So what you do is, in order to find the midpoint, we add these two values and divide it by 2. For the second class, 162 plus 196, and divide the result by 2, it will be 179. For the third class, 197 plus 231, and then divided by 2, it will be 214. Make sure you check that in your calculator. For the fourth class, 232 plus 266, and then divide the result by 2, it will be 249. And for the fifth class, 267 plus 301, and divide the result by 2, it will be 284. Now the frequency of each class. For the first frequency is 7, next is 6, then 3, 3, and 1. So 3, 3, then 1. In the next column, we have F times M. So we multiply 144 times 7. Multiply that in your calculator. It is 1008. 179 times 6, which is 1074. Now, next one, 214 times 3. If you multiply that, it will be 642. 214 times 3 is 642. Now 249 times 3. 249 times 3 is 747. Make sure you multiply all of them. 284 times 1 is 284. What we know is, in order to calculate the mean, we have the formula mean equal to sum of F times M divided by sum of F. So what we need to do is, we need the sum of F times M. Here we have F times M. We need to add all these numbers using calculator. So if we add all these numbers using calculator, we'll get 3,755. So this is 3,755. And we need to divide that by sum of all frequencies. So if we add all these, It's going to be 20. It's going to be 20. So we have our total, that is 20. Now, using our calculator, we have to divide 3755 by 20 and we'll obtain the result 187.75. Okay, that is the average number of beds in those 20 hospitals. So this is the mean. We calculated this mean using the manual process. Using formula, we calculated this mean. We can also calculate the same mean using TI-84 calculator. What you have to do is, you have to enter the M value in list 1 and frequency in list 2. Let's do that. Okay, here we enter the M value in list 1 and frequency in list 2. After we enter these two values, what we have to do is we have to go to stat, then calculate one variable stat. Your M is in list 1, frequency in list 2, that's good. You have to adjust that and then enter, and you'll see that your average is 187.75, which matches with our manual calculation. Okay, that is the third example in calculation of mean, and this is for the group data. Next, we are going to look at the calculation of mean for the another type of problem where it involves the weighted mean. Okay, fourth example. Marissa completed her first semester at Community College of Aurora and her result is shown below. Determine Marissa's GPA. So you can see here they have given the subject, statistics, sociology, psychology, computer programming, and drama. And the grade, letter grade is given here, A, B, A, C, A, and the credit hour for each class is given. So we have to find the average. Credit hour is the weight, so you can mark that as W, okay? And the letter grade, as we are talking about A, B, C here, A, B, C, then these are the three values A, B, C, okay? If you obtain D or F, you'll be asked to repeat the class. So what we do is, these two are the failing grade, and the way we mark these is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to remember that, and we call that X. So for A, X value is 4, B is 3, C is 2, A is 4, A is 4. If there was a D, it's 1. If there's F, that is 0. Now, if you remember the formula to calculate the mean for the weight given like this, it is sum of X times W divided by sum of W. So you have X here, you have W here. So in next column, we need X times W. So we multiply 4 times 4 is 16, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 or 4 times 3, 12, 2 times 5, 10, 4 times 1, 4. Then we are going to add. We are going to find the total. We need X times W, sum of X times W. Let's add these numbers using our calculator. Okay, so when we add all this is 51. Similarly, if we add the W, 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 1, that is 16. So now we can use this formula and calculate the average, the weighted mean, which is also called GPA in this case. Sum of X times W is 51 divided by sum of W is 16. So if we divide that, that is equal to 3.1875. So this is the GPA. This is the current GPA. So your grade point average is the weighted mean. So whenever you want to calculate the grade point average, this is the weighted mean. Or if you think of the categories under which you are graded, like you'll have 20% on quiz, 50% on exams, and 30% on project. If you have things like that, the way your final grade is calculated is using this formula. It is the weighted average. So this is the fourth example on the mean. And in fact, this is the last example for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this helpful.